Jeff.
Hello, Jan.
If I understand correctly, you are not only a fan of cats, but a fan of cat and dog adjacent war times in France.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, no, you read my Wikipedia page, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I am. I mean, who isn't? Like, people love this stuff. Cats and dogs are the perfect representation for war. I mean,
I just realized the the antagonists of the story are the Burman army.
Yep.
It's a little close to.
Are they from Burmany?
I didn't want to say it, but I think that's what I finally picked up. This is.
Are they just Germans, but also? They're true bee dogs. Are they Bloods? Are they? Wait, hang on.
I didn't piece this together until reading that line just now and thinking about this.
As Burmans are brazy.
They really do replace a lot of words with the letter B. So this might be a bull ass game.
Do you think some localization person was like, no, that's the vibe we're gonna go for?
Kudos to that localization person, because at least now, at least two people and whoever watches this quick look will be tuned in that they really, really like the Bloods. And I'm not gonna say Suwoo, but Suwoo.
All right.
This is Fuga, Melodies of Steel. Talked about this a little bit on the most recent Bombcast. And this came out, I think, late July, so it's been out for a little bit. And Jeff, this is a weird game.
Yeah, your description of it sounded...
Look at this tank. Look at this tank.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize you had a metal slug.
So, Fuga Melodies of Steel, it's from the wonderful folks at CyberConnect 2. And it is a turn-based game. It's very story-heavy, so if you're interested in the story of these cat and dog children, be aware of spoilers. These kids have had their... Oh, shit. I like Boron the most. He's like a big cat.
He's a Goron, but with a... Oh, wait, no, these are the cats. Okay.
These kids... Oh, shit.
Oh, the boy from the worn-out tank is here.
This is chapter 5, still early in the game. This is maybe, I'd say, about 3-4 hours into the game, and I've been taking my time with some of the missions. Oh, dude, this kid is messed up. But the initial group of kids that you start with have had their home invaded by the Burman army. A mysterious voice on a radio tells them, oh shit, it's Jin. Tells them to go into a cave where they find the Tyrannus, which is this giant tank that we're residing in. And yeah, we're kind of like making our way through the countryside. I think trying to find our family. Hopefully they haven't been messed up. Hopefully they're still around.
Yeah. I mean, Jin here wants revenge, so...
Yeah. Jin is out for blood. Also, Hannah is like the mom cat of... Is she a cat?
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Molt. Molt looks like a dog, right?
You could tell me that these were squirrels or tanukis or some kind of mystical creature, and I would believe you. They're cat-like just enough to make this work.
Right.
But anime cats, sometimes you could say, like, that's a fox, and I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Jin is psyched about this tank.
And Jin's got long floppy ears. Is Jin a dog?
I think Jin is a dog. Apparently, this is the second game in this universe from CyberConnect 2.
You mean the Little Tail Bronx franchise? The Little Tail story.
Sure.
Follow-up, yes.
Is it Tails like Like
TAIL, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, we might just skip through some of these cinematics or this dialogue. But this is the flow of the game. So we have like a route, kind of like a Slay the Spire type of thing, and there's forks in the path, and we'll get to it in a little bit. Each mission, and in the middle of each mission, starts with an intermission, where you actually walk around the tank, and you have a notebook here that says like, hey, all my different folks need to do like these things to boost their mood. And mood is a very important thing in this game. It's one of the like 20 million systems that this game is throwing at you, because it can quickly get overwhelming.
Yeah, somebody just wants to have a dude's night out.
Yeah, and so you can pick between your different denizens of the tank here and walk them around. So let's just switch to Jin.
Okay.
And you can go do these specific things that everyone wants to do. You can feed the different folks in the tank. You can give them bread. Someone wants to go on a guys only expedition. Someone wants to just eat a cabbage roll. And if you satisfy those build up each individual character's mood. But you could also spend your AP that you see in the top left corner just talking to the different people. And let's actually just do that real quick. And the more you interact with specific characters, it boosts your affinity for them. And after you reach past level 1 affinity, you gain a special link attack that you can do if they're paired up with you.
Okay, so it matters like which character you're controlling as well as which one you're talking to, because you're building those specific bonds.
Yes, yeah.
Wow,
so
okay.
Since Jin just joined the squad, he's pretty low on the totem pole with everyone. But Malt, who's been here since the very beginning, has a little bit of a deeper bond with some of the other characters. And kind of like an XCOM, you can just walk around your tank here and upgrade stuff. You can eat to boost your stats in between missions, and that'll stay consistent through until the next intermission. I think someone wanted to eat a cabbage roll, so let's just do that.
I think Jin wanted a cabbage roll.
Okay.
I wish they put the names of the characters next on that list of who wanted what. Otherwise, you got to memorize a lot of little photos.
Yeah,
as they add characters, I imagine that's not going to be.
Yeah, because we'll see once we get to a combat mission that there's space for a lot of people.
So I'm just now realizing, kind of digging around a little bit, that this is meant to be kind of a follow-up of sorts to Tail Concerto, which is a PlayStation 1 game.
Oh.
Which is like a kind of cool. I think we played it on a demo derby once, but it's like a demo of it, obviously. But it's like a kind of action-adventure game with steampunky kind of tanks and cat people and all that other stuff, and that's really crazy to me that this is somehow connected to that in spirit all these years later. It's kind of awesome.
I can't think of too many instances of that. Maybe like a Xenosaga or Xenogears,
right? Yeah,
kind of thing. So thankfully, some of these conditions can be satisfied in wide swaths across the board. Like Jin just wanted to eat a cabbage roll, but we had other folks just like, I just want to eat. But
I'm sorry. Can you hang on for a sec? I gotta answer the door real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be right back. Hey, how's it going? Okay, yeah, that's totally great. Thanks. All right. This office by the front door is paid off.
There we go. You don't have to reach to the front door. Just tell them, drop it there.
Yeah.
Pass it through the window. And you'll get stuff to plant, so you can have more ingredients to cook. Just gonna plant a bunch of stuff here real quick.
So it's like a hydroponic garden somewhere in the tank itself.
Yeah, there's like a frog apparently down there.
Great.
And you can upgrade the different parts of your tank. You can expand these different parts. You can also go fishing, because of course you have to be able to go fishing in a JRPG type of game.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah.
Let's just go fishing real quick. And the deeper bonds you have with someone, sometimes they'll come in and assist you during a task, which is neat. But God, it gets very stressful trying to keep everyone's affinity for each other at the same level across the board, because otherwise let's just begin the assault. I think we're pretty good to go, because otherwise you kind of just have folks paired up with just whoever they have an affinity with.
Right, like not a lot of options when things get hairy, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go this normal route. And so this is a turn-based RPG, but instead of each individual cat or dog kid having their own individual HP bar, it's the shared one for the tank.
Okay.
And you can see there's a timeline up top that determines the turn order. You see how these enemy tanks have a little yellow clock next to their enemy portraits?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you hit them with a yellow attack or a cannon attack, that will delay them. So let's load up some grenade kitty dog kids on our front line here, and you can determine the different order of your formation.
Choose a child to replace is a really good.
Yeah.
Like, it says a lot about this game that, like, at no point are you going to be like dealing with adults in the tank.
It's very I guess I don't know the trope, but it's very like, no, kids are the future type of deal.
Yeah, the future of war. It's kids. Metal Gear said it.
Yep.
You know it's true.
And you can see here, Jeff, so in these first two gun turrets, there's like a little heart meter between these two characters and then these two characters. And that's because they have an affinity for each other that can build up a link attack. But the other thing going on is that whoever is in your back line also has a support effect for whoever is in your front line.
Okay.
So let's just get going with the battle here. And each individual character has their own skills on top of that. So a lot starts to pop off really, really quickly. But since we hit that enemy tank with a yellow attack, that was their weakness, we push their turn back a little bit and delay them. So there's some strategy going on here.
It's nice that they're. Is that something that only showed up after you did it once, or it's like you had to discover the weakness, or is it just kind of a blanket effect of like, hey, these yellow attacks do
It's
delay?
a blanket effect. It'll pop up occasionally. You can't always delay them. It'll just be a specific turn order.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God. These dudes are actually hitting pretty hard. Certain attack or certain enemy encounters will have multiple waves. In the different forks of the missions, excuse me, they'll have like easier routes, normal routes, super difficult routes, and generally the incentive there is just like, hey, you're gonna get more XP, you're gonna get more items if you take the chance.
Right, yeah.
Oh God. So we see someone with two weaknesses here.
Oh, okay, I see.
So the game really does encourage diversifying your offensive lineup. And that's a funny sentence to say with the thought of children, dog, and cat kids.
Dogs and cats fighting together.
Who would have thought? Look at us. And the combat has gotten challenging in certain aspects because the game will dole out different enemy types that, like, yo, this specific type is really, really weak to grenades, but we're gonna throw a bunch of other enemy mobs that are stronger against grenades that you have to try and pick off quickly versus just letting them hang out.
And you can change formation mid-battle, right? So if you ended up in a situation where you just went in with the wrong stuff, you just have to survive 3 turns.
Yeah, and the 3 turns is just it just includes player turns. So honestly, it isn't that long. You just have to be cognizant of like the timeline up top to like set yourself up.
Yeah.
So Socks here Socks here can let's burn some people, Jeff. You know?
Yes, finally. You know how I feel about fire.
Oh yeah. And yeah, this has been like the general flow of the combat. Like I've dug it a lot. When it gets to like the bigger mid boss or boss encounters, the game kind of like struggles with just having a long encounter, you know. But that's like par for the course for turn-based RPGs, where all right, just gotta keep hitting attack for like 12 turns, huh?
Yeah.
But
push the button, watch it go. Oh, Socks is all busted up.
Yeah, so Socks is injured. So Socks, his accuracy is going to go down. So we have the ability, since we have a bunch of kids, to switch him out for someone else to keep him healthy. And you'd heal Socks by letting him rest in the tank during an intermission. But we got plenty of kids to throw in this tank.
Yeah.
The story has, like, I mean, you know, stories are really dealing with throwing kids into a giant tank.
Yeah.
And it's...
You mentioned the there's some pretty heavy weaponry in here that might cost you some kids.
Yeah. I kind of want to demonstrate. You know what? Let's get to the point where it would trigger. So. There's a mechanic in the game that if your shit is really getting messed up, and your HP is really getting low, let's just defend it a couple times, and it seems like you're about to lose an encounter. Oh gosh, May's afraid.
Oh. Status effects on status effects.
There's so many different status effects happening because kids get scared, kids get sleepy. I think a kid got hungry once, and I'm like, dude, you just ate. What are you talking about?
I can relate.
Okay. This might be a mistake trying to demonstrate this. I'm just gonna get one of them down.
Okay.
But you know, say you are in a tough bind, and it looks like someone's got to take it for the team.
Mm-hmm.
There is a mechanic called the Soul Cannon, where you load up one of your cat or puppy kids, and their soul gets consumed by the cannon.
Uh-huh.
And they fire off an all-encompassing attack. Oh, maybe it'll trigger here. Oh, please don't. Oh, shit.
Oh. Something triggered.
Ooh.
There is nothing more you can do.
Well, I wanted to demonstrate something, but this isn't the exact thing. Well, we could have loaded one of our kitty kids into to just fire off a giant attack that will, in my experience, it will clear the attack and whatnot. But okay, all right, let's jam through this. Okay, let's play this smart. Let's play this fast and loose.
All right,
but we won't.
So the
lose a kid.
the Soul Cannon. Do you get the impression that the story just continues on minus that character and like story is altered, or
that is definitely the impression I'm getting, because the first kid, the game makes you sacrifice one of your children,
like as a tutorial, kind of
as a tutorial.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super extreme and a very hot way to start the game.
Yeah.
But the implication was that if you sacrifice one of these kids, they're not going to be in the story at all anymore. And it's kind of like there's some rough implications, because there's multiple characters that are siblings or characters that are best friends. Like Malt has a little sister in this game that is also in this tank, and then she's like, big brother. And I'd kind of be heartbroken if Malt just dies.
Yeah, and it seems like, when you lose, it takes you back to the last intermission, which doesn't seem like that much of a penalty. So I wonder, like, what the scenario would be where you'd be like, yep, doing this, and then playing the rest of the game this way. It seems like most people would just take the loss and restart. But
The intermissions, the chapters are starting to get like a little bit longer as I've been playing through. So I could see someone just maybe loading up a kid into the soul cannon and just saying like, all right, well, sorry, kid.
Or they're just doing their soul cannon run. They just want to waste as many of the kids as possible and see what happens. You know, that's.
So I'd be interested to see like how the story would progress if like, hey, we don't have any of the original kids in this tank anymore.
Right.
Which I kind of now want to do. But unfortunately, the game doesn't have that many save slots, so you couldn't really save scum your way through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, because the other thing I wonder is if, like, you know, if they say, like, oh, you're launching this soul in, but, like, oh, now you've got to go do some other mission to win their souls back and before you can continue, or if there's some hook like that or if they really are, if it really is that final. I guess that's the thing I would want to know.
Yeah, I would hope that it is final, and that like that is the story they're trying to tell here.
Right.
It's funny because the voiceover options, it's only Japanese or French. And I haven't turned on.
I mean, games is set in. I'm like, this seems like there's French on screen here and there as well. Are you meant to? Is this meant to be France, or Kitty Cat France, or what?
I think so. I think it's
CyberConnect France.
CyberConnect France. Was that PS1 game? Was that like also of this like World War I-ish era?
Well, when I look it up online, here's the sentence. Tail Concerto was first released in Japan in April '98, and the following December in France. So, for some reason, France ended up being the second territory it was released in, and then it came to North America the following year.
Shit.
But
Jeff,
it doesn't specifically say anything about France as France. Instead, it talks about the Kingdom of Prairie.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So.
The country that we are navigating through does look France adjacent, I'll say. Jin could probably finish this off. So the mood we were seeing when we were in the tank earlier, that is building up another meter for each individual character for them to go into hero mode. And then each individual character has a different bonus for when they enter hero mode. And then so this is also happening if you have characters teaming up on the same turret, is that they're also building up their own affinity if an existing affinity exists. And man, it's my brain hurts.
Yeah. So how difficult has it been? Have you lost a lot of battles, or have you kind of been just making it through so far?
I think there's been a couple battles where I've kind of had to, like, barely getting out. And I don't think the levels will adjust, or the encounters will adjust to how you're performing. It's just going to be like, hey, this is what we're throwing at you. You just got to deal. But the delay mechanic of having to push back an enemy's turn has definitely been effective. The thing that this game does, which I'm thankful for, that not a lot of JRPGs do, is that the status ailments actually affect the boss encounters. Because, you know, you'll build up like a character to be like, hey, you are the stun person. You stun everyone. And sometimes that doesn't work on a boss at all. It's kind of a bummer. So that character's useless. Jeff, let's go to the Shrine Forge of God here, because now it's a 2D game.
Oh, wait, weird. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so to add another system to this game, there are these expeditions, which are like light puzzles where you're navigating through a dungeon. Oh shit!
Oh god!
He just died. He didn't die, but your whole goal is to get the key and then unlock the treasure chest. But there's hazards. other items you can pick up, and this bullet that was just here.
Sure.
And we could just go attack this wall. Let's just do that for the sake of time. But, you know, you're incentivized to keep exploring these dungeons because you'll have more goodies to eventually upgrade your tank and all the other stuff. And you can go on these expeditions again during your intermission in case you did miss stuff. Because, you know...
But it's going to cost AP for you to do that?
Yeah. Or, if you go through it while it's on your map or your route, it doesn't cost any AP. But if you're revisiting it, it will.
Okay.
I haven't found a way to increase the AP that you get. So I'm curious if that's just a thing that's going to stay at 20 throughout the game. All right. Okay. Let's play it. Fortune favors the brave, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're here to fight.
We're here to fight. Yeah, let's get a little.
We're here to fight.
Yeah, we're here to fight. If I have to throw one of these children into the soul cannon, I'll feel really bad about it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, think of the goods you'll get at the end of this battle.
Oh boy,
that's clearly worth more than, you know, Kyle socks. Like, come on.
Okay. All right.
I was going to ask if there was tank repairs, but now I see you have cast a lullaby that has just repaired the tank.
Yep. Yeah, because, I mean, that's how engineering works, right? You just sing.
Yes. Yeah, totally. In all forms. That's how websites are built. And that's how tanks are repaired. That's how trains are piloted. Anything you can associate with the word engineer is basically...
So, the neat thing is that the little... specific color pip that'll delay an enemy, it applies to any type of attack from that type of character. So with Jin there, we did a AoE attack, and that satisfied that requirement to hit all the folks.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's switch her out for Mei. Jin's super psyched. You can see from his little character portrait there, like. I mean,
he was in a busted up, messed up tank alone, and now he's like got all these kids, and he's like, "This is great."
Yeah, it's like
this tank works.
It's like going to school and be like, "Hey, you hate shit too?"
Yeah.
Sick. All right. This chapter opened before you joined me, Jeff, with a suspicious-looking dog general. That might not be a dog.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the story's... And also there's a ghost in the tank. A ghost in the shell, perhaps?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, you know, another trope to pile on.
Yeah.
That is constantly telling the kids not to fight. But you have no choice but to fight. So... I don't know what lessons are happening here.
So maybe if you just don't attack during the first battle, you get like a Far Cry style quick ending. Like the ghost was wrong.
So this is where some of the enemy variety comes into play. These flying types are more susceptible to machine gun fire, and your heavier hitting units are less accurate against them. But you can kind of ignore these dudes because all they will do is heal. So if you want to kind of focus fire on the ground units here, the other thing that starts happening is that some enemies will have shields that you'll have to pierce through, and only your machine gun characters can break that shield. So let's just whittle this dude down. I'm not hoping we can get the soul cannon fired off, but I'm taking an inventory in my head of who I could lose. But to hear that this is like a continuation of a PS1 game, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, or it's not even necessarily continuation per se. It's really just kind of all set in a similar universe, and it's I think they've this could be one of those situations where the IP changed. No, it looks like it's all. It looks like it all goes back. This is billed as the 4th game in the series.
Oh shit! So Jin is in hero mode here. This lasts for 5 turns, and then skill attacks inflict double damage. So let's go. Temporary attack increase. Yeah. Let's burn this smaller tank.
Prior to this, there was Soldato Robo. Otherwise, Red the Hunter.
Okay.
And this game is a prequel to that game, set 700 years before.
Okay.
Soldato Robo.
Okay.
Red Hunter.
Red Hunter?
Red the Hunter.
Oh, Red the Hunter.
Red the Hunter.
I was thinking that they were making another loose analogy to a different group.
Yeah. I guess that game was meant as a spiritual sequel to Tail Concerto, which is the 98 PlayStation 1 game.
God, I want to see someone's, like, the design doc or, like, the timeline that someone came up with. Like, hey, remember that cat game that we have? Let's do it again.
Okay.
Let's do it again.
All right.
So this is what I was talking about, where some encounters can get a little long in the tooth of like, all right, well, I know what I have to do. I gotta do it.
Yeah, you just kind of have to grind out these armor levels, and
yeah. But the neat thing is, so since Jin is in hero mode, those 5 turns are persistent for only Jin. So you could switch Jin out for let's just throw one of the red cannon folks on there. Oh no, they're about to link attack. To preserve his like hero mode status until you really need it. Which introduces some strategy. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Then you kind of save his hero stuff for the boss fight or whatever you've got at the end here. You got your link attack blinking.
We got one more round after this.
Man, this is just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how else you like get around this in these types of games, because like Fire Emblem has like an obscene amount of crap like this.
Yeah.
Well, let's heal up a little bit. I don't want to have to go back to the intermission. And it doesn't seem like you're, at least where I'm at in the game, that you would get to a point where you're so overpowered that you're just rinsing through enemy encounters. And I could probably be using my skills more effectively.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something where it's like, oh, this is going to pierce for 2, or this is going to double piercing shot, or some kind of stacking effect or something, or affinity that...
You reminded me that Kyle can do that, and that's why I can't throw Kyle into the soul cannon.
Got it. Okay.
Kyle's a dick.
Live another day, Kyle.
Yeah. But as soon as I get another character that can do that, I'm throwing you in, Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're almost done. We're almost freaking done with this. Ooh. When's the last time you added Wrath, Jeff?
Every day. Some people wake and bake. I arise and add Wrath. I know it doesn't rhyme, but real life isn't pretty.
So some of the link attacks have some neat other bonuses, like this one, because we have the mother of the group with us. She's not actually a mom. She's just an older female cat.
Yeah.
I think. Is she a cat? The one in the back there?
Yeah.
She will heal us up pretty nicely. Oh man, this is just gonna be a bummer of an encounter. Okay.
Well, you did take the difficult route.
We did. We did.
They just didn't inform you that difficult meant, like, I don't know, mentally, from a focus perspective, from a grind perspective, I guess.
Yeah, if I were, like, one of my other complaints about this game is that I have turned my brain off a lot.
Yeah.
while playing through some of these missions. Okay, let's bring out some heavy hitters on the squad to try and make this go faster. You two are cool. You two are cool. Okay. All right. Attack on all enemies. Let's do that. 8-hit attack.
Yeah, but with the 5 levels of armor, it's not gonna.
Jesus Christ, buddy.
If Kyle has a double piercer, this might be a good Kyle moment.
This could be a good Kyle moment, actually. Oh no, our formation is locked, Jeff. We can't have our Kyle moment.
Oh, Kyle. Into the cannon, Kyle.
It's God. I wish I want to load a child into this cannon. I know that sounds really bad, but for the sake of coverage,
seeing it, yeah,
you know. Oh man, this is a little miserable right now. Actually,
like this in 12 minutes, just like gruesome choices.
Yep. No content warning here though.
I just assume you're okay loading kids into the cannon.
Yeah, I kind of had like when they presented that in the tutorial, I was like, wait, is this for real? For real?
Oh, Kyle, come on.
Kyle, what do you mean? Oh, wait. Is this Soul Cannon time? It's not Soul Cannon time? Oh, man. Jeff, I apologize. I came into this quick look with a promise that we would throw a kitty or a puppy into the soul of this tank. And we may not even be able to do that.
Yeah.
This is a bummer. Okay, well, I don't... But this has been the flow of the game. You know, the maps will get longer and whatnot as you progress through the different chapters. It seems like in each subsequent chapter, you were getting another cat child to join your squad. And I don't know if they're suddenly throwing a bunch of kids at me because because, you know, it's supposed to be a big cast, or maybe some kids are supposed to be more expendable.
Just don't need to make it.
Yeah, maybe Socks wasn't meant to cross the finish line. Kyle is not only injured, but he's scared.
Ugh. Kyle, come on.
Kyle, you need to carry your weight.
Well, I guess, like, my other question is, like, are you enjoying this? You talked about turning off your brain for some of these encounters and that sort of stuff. Like, is it holding your attention, or is it just kind of, are the systems maybe a little too much?
It's when you, like, I take these more dangerous routes, or like it's so many waves of enemies that, like, okay, cool, I get the strategy or the puzzle element, but after you figure that out, you were still stuck in that grind for like X amount of turns. Like, you know, we figured out, like, okay, we got to knock their armor down to a certain extent, but either way, that's going to be a slog.
Yeah, it's like you have to just feather your delay attacks and your piercing attacks until you get them where you need to get them.
Yeah. Let's just defend with Kyle. Kyle can't do much. But like the story has definitely kept me interested. Whatever they are trying to imply about war and children and industrialization and fake France, maybe Germany, has kept me interested. And it's like the smaller battles where it's just like a one-off wave or maybe like a wave of 2. I'll tell you, the boss battles don't feel as long or as much of a grind as this does right now.
Interesting.
And generally, you know, those will have a different mechanic of like, all right, the boss character is going to change form. You have to deal with that. You're hot swapping a lot more with the boss encounters than these grinding in between levels.
Oh, because they'll like change. They'll change, and you'll have to alter your strategies to match that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like these like in between battles where it's like, okay, like I just wanted a little bit more XP, but you're kind of just stuck.
Yeah.
Which is the slog here. God, I guess go sing to the tank. Sing to the tank. I want to say that we'll check out a little bit more after this, but this is taking a lot of time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Destroys all weakness icons and armor. There you go.
Oh,
done.
Never
Problem
mind.
solver.
That character wants us to see the rest of a little bit more of this map, huh? Okay. All right. This is currently out on everything, and when I mean say everything, I mean everything. It is out on pretty much all modern platforms: Gen 8, Gen 9, 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just keep throwing numbers. Like it's on it.
It's
Let's
probably
see. What's the list here? It's PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
Yes.
And this is the Switch version?
This is the Switch version. And, you know, this obviously isn't the most intensive game. I haven't experienced any slowdowns, which, you know, sometimes you'll come across with, like, a very sprite-heavy game like this. Not sprite-heavy, but animation-heavy game.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just finish this off because we're so close.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit upset, Jeff, that there's not as many cat and dog puns in some of these enemy tanks as I would like there to be.
Yeah.
Okay, we are so
Some of the stuff I just saw that like are those attacks in the upper right underneath the little 3 out of 3 when they attack, or is that the name of the unit?
name of the unit.
Yeah. Yeah, Zyklon's maybe not the reference I would pull out for your World War II game in this day and age. It's kind of messed up. It's, not.
Okay. Let's... Oh, we didn't heal.
And now you've got Wrath to contend with.
Okay, we can take
Okay,
it.
if you can't load anything into the cannon now, then it's just never gonna happen. You have no HP left.
I guess I swear I was able to load a kid into the cannon in a regular battle, but I guess it might only be the mid boss and the boss encounters. We did very poorly. You know, again, probably could have been optimizing our turns there. But I really wanted to load a kid into a cannon.
Yeah.
But Jeff, that has been Fuga, Melodies of Steel. You will come across little waypoints along the map that'll heal you up a bit, give you more SP, come across some items. But I've mostly been enjoying my time with this game. It's just like the slog of having to repeatedly press A and like, okay, I get it. This is what I have to do.
Right.
Over and over again. And also before you enter each mission, there is like a shop that you enter, but the shop isn't really much of a shop because you're kind of exchanging items for similar items or lesser items, which is weird.
Like a swap meet.
Yeah, like a little swap meet in near Burmany. But you know, if you, I'm gonna hazard to say that sentence because I was gonna say if you like furries and tanks, that this might be the game for you. I don't.
All right. I don't know.
I will say, for some of the adult furry characters, there have been some interesting designs.
I hear you. All right.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm on board.
Yeah, whatever is your flavor of choice.
Yeah, this seems like a really cool idea, and it's not my kind of game, but it also seems rad in its own right, and kind of awesome that like CyberConnect 2 has been like trying to get back to this franchise or something like it for all these years, and doing it here and there with mobile games and DS games and all this other stuff. Like that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I want to dig up the game that this is a spiritual successor to, if this is set 700 years before it, because that means maybe we get dog mechs.
You might get dog mechs. I forget. Yeah, I don't know. I did play some Tale Concerto, but it's been a very long time. So.
Oh man. Oh, all right. Well, I'll just load myself up into this Soul Cannon, Jeff, and I'll see you later.
All right. Or will you?